What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV with your host here, Dano, giving you guys the best content that you're going to find on the internet. If you stay for 10 minutes, I promise you're going to stay for the entire hour because we have Geir Ness here on the show with us for today, and he's going to be talking about his incredible journey, which is nothing short of absolutely amazing, from traveling all the way around, the world, starting his career with the $5 suit, and a cameraman that couldn't afford to put film inside their camera, and all of the great juicy details that you need to hear. And Geir is here with us live to be able to share that. So Geir, what do you have to say to everybody before we get started today on Weekly Dose of Dano TV?
I will say never give up, trust yourself. But if you're going to, one sentence will be never give up.
I love that. So everybody, there it is. Never give up. If that's the sign that you needed or you've been looking for, Geir just gave it to you here live on Weekly Dose of Dano TV. So everybody, like, share, do whatever you have to do to raise your vibrations because it's time for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Let's get it, everybody. And I'm super excited to be here with you guys every Thursday, 9 o'clock Eastern time, to be with my positivity posse because you guys don't know how much I appreciate you and what you guys do for me and for our guests week in and week out. And every time that we get done with the episodes, it's always, wow, you have the positivity posse. I love that. And you guys just emit that great energy. And we all appreciate that as well. So shout out to you guys. And thank you for being here to support Weekly Dose of Dano TV, because I'm here bringing you guys the fire content. So let's start with something that's pretty serious for today. There's somebody that is a part of the positivity posse that is a huge essential piece to it, and they're not really feeling that well or in the best of spirits. So if you guys just please drop a hashtag P4B, or just drop a fire emoji or some hearts, something, in order to send this person positive energy or just some prayers. Because this person needs it right now, and they're absolutely amazing, and they deserve all of the greatest health and greatest wealth in the world. But yeah, she needs your help right now. So please just drop that for them, and let's get into it for today. So today, I just want to talk to you guys real quick about really having an appreciation for everything that you have going on in your life, for all of the good things and all of the things that are maybe not so good, because they all play a crucial role in everything that we have in our development, in our relationships, in our professional careers. All of it is serving us in our greatest and highest good. Maybe we might not see why that thing is happening right now that's not so great, but you just have to believe and you have to trust that it is serving you, right? Because not everything that always happens to us is that seems like it's a bad thing is a bad thing, right? Because as we always talk about on here is the contrast. How are you supposed to know what happiness is if you don't know what sadness is? Or how are you supposed to know what clean is if you don't experience dirty, right? Everything is working out for our highest good. Number one, set that intention. And number two, understand that whatever it is that you're going through right now, through all the happy moments or even the sad moments, it's all not going to stay here forever. So you know that you can appreciate that thing for what it is right now and still be able to enjoy the journey of life, right? So if you just won the lottery and I don't know, you just won maybe $10,000, be grateful for it. Use that money to really invest in yourself or to follow whatever dreams it is that you want to follow, right? But understand that, we will come back to a place where hopefully, we can understand that it is coming back, it's really I'm kind of getting emotional right now because I've been really experiencing this gratitude for life. Um, just because it's just been absolutely amazing. I hope you guys are figuring out that too. And like I said, I'm gonna spin it to the things that are maybe negative in our lives too. You know, if you're going through an argument with your significant other, your family member, just make sure that you take the time to really thank them. And yeah, sorry, I'm getting a little teary eyed right now. Woof, this is the first. I'm just so grateful for you guys. Woof, feeling the love right now, man. You guys are great. Wow. Just give me 1 second. We're just gonna play a quick word from our sponsors, and we got to keep going forward. But thank you guys for being here, and we'll be right back.
Did you know you can apply to over 50 historically black colleges and universities at the same time for only $20? You can with the Common Black College application. Hello, my name is Robert Mason. I'm the founder of the CBCA. Students around the world have completed the application and received multiple acceptance letters, financial aid packages, and scholarship offers. So visit our website at commonblackcollegeapp.com to apply now. And don't forget to pick up the book, Get Educated, The Man Behind the Common Black College App.
The love from you guys. So, like I said, thank you for being here. And now we have to bring on Geir because it's not about me or the Positivity Posse. We're going to be diving into his story about all of his successes. And I'm just really excited to be able to bring this to you guys. So, whatever you got to do, drop some fire chats, drop a welcome Geir, whatever you got to do to welcome Geir onto the show because he's about to drop some gold bars for us. So, everybody, well, let's welcome Geir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing great. Sorry you had to see that. That's the first time that this ever happened here on Weekly Dose, man. I'm just feeling the love.
That's good.
Yeah. So thank you so much for being here and taking the time out of your busy schedule to be on Weekly Dose of Dano TV. It's been absolutely amazing just to go through this journey and to hear about your journey. It's been all good stuff. So let's get right into it because we have a lot that we need to talk about in such a short amount of time. So, Geir, there's a story that you share with me about a $5 suit and your cameraman not being able to afford a film to put into his camera. So really, that story tells about the tale of what you had to go through to get to where you are today. So, would you mind sharing that story with everybody?
Of course, absolutely. I just wanted to give you a little background of how I started before I go into that story, because then you know more what I did before. I was born and raised in Norway. And when I was very little, my mom would take me up to the mountains of Norway every spring and summer. And I just remember the scent up there was just a beautiful, fresh, clean scent. So when I come up with create my own fragrance, I went back to those same mountains and I wanted something that reflected, my childhood. So I worked on it for almost 4 years to come up with a scent. And what I did, I copied my mom's signature without her knowing it, and I seal screened her name on the bottle, and I gave it to her for Mother's Day. So that was how I come up with the fragrance, was inspired by the Norwegian mountains. And moving forward to what you asked me about, when I'm going to try to get my fragrance into the market in the United States, nobody really called me back, and who are you, and whatever. But I was very lucky to get into the buyers at Nordstrom's department stores, which was actually it's my favorite store. The quality, everything about it. The service was great. So I met the buyer, and the buyer said to me back and forth, we can't really take it in because this is harder than show business, she told me. And she said, you have no name, no money for advertisement, nothing, and we can't do anything. Finally, I talked to her. I didn't give up. I said, well, we're going to take in 100 bottles to see how much you sell in 3 months. If you don't sell this, you had to take it all back. I said, okay. So this was the Saturday before Mother's Day. And, Mother's Day is a big, especially for fragrances. It's one of the biggest holidays or special days. Of course, the holidays for, the Christmas and everything is huge. But that is a very big day and very special for so many wonderful moms out there. So at that time, I also went to like producing, directing, and acting classes. And I called up a friend of mine, John, in class. I said, John, can you come down to Nordstrom on Saturday to take picture and of me and make me a big star, you know, like pretend that I'm a big star from Europe. And he said, well, I would love to give, but I have no film in my camera. I said, nobody would know. Just come down and take pictures. And he said, okay. Then I go to a garage sale and I see, and I didn't have any suit. So I said, I need to look good. So I need to buy something special. So I go into this garage sale and I bought a suit for $5. And at the garage sale, there was a red carpet laying there. So I said, can I have this with me? I said, okay, sure. So I got a red carpet and in a suit from a garage sale. I dressed myself up, tried to look chic. Then I go into Nordstrom and I called up a couple of friends of mine too. Like, can you come down to Nordstrom and say, oh my God, here he is, and you know, make me big. And then I got into Nordstrom, setting my stuff up. I have my picture of me, myself in the back. You know, I'm staying there with my suit on, and the photographer started to clips away. And Nordstrom opened the stores, and people started to come in to buy something special for Mother's Day. And they see this guy, the one guy staying over there, and all of a sudden I have a huge line of people. And I started to like talk to them, signing pictures myself and everything else. And in an hour, I have sold out every single bottle. And I got, I think, 20, 30 people on a waiting list. So that's how I started with Nordstrom, with just believing in yourself and make it happen.
I love that. And just that story is absolutely amazing, because you didn't like focus on the things that could have went wrong, and you didn't focus on the things that you didn't have. You had what you had, which is a good spirit, a great product, and
Right.
you know, belief in yourself. And that's what made it happen. So can you talk about that a little bit? Because I know we were talking a little bit in the pre-show just about, you know,
Absolutely.
things that we can focus on that really aren't there to service, whether it's people or the news.
Right.
How did you focus on yourself and knew that you could make it?
The secret is to believe in what you have and believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in your product and yourself, nobody else will. So for me, when I created this fragrance, I say to myself, you know, this is the best fragrance in the world. Nothing's going to touch this, you know. And I also look, this is a true story. I look at myself on the red carpet, you know, in Hollywood and the whole thing. And I said, I'm going to go there. This is what I want. This is what is going to happen. So when I was doing that at Nordstrom's and talking to all the customers coming in, I just believed this is the best one. One woman come up to me and she looked at my suit and she said, darling, I love your suit. That must be from Europe. And I bought it in a garage sale, you know, right before. But that's how you have to believe in. You believe in what you have on yourself and be strong, because it's so easy to listen to negativity, to surround yourself with people that maybe even the jealousy, or they can be anything. I just promised myself when I started this that I'm going to be around positive people that want me well and not listen to all this negativity, because if you do, you will be gone. It's so easy, you know, to say, oh, my back hurt, my this hurt and stuff. But if you believe in the good stuff, concentrate about what you have today and how you want things to be, and not what you don't want them to be. And you will be so surprised. And I know you know this, but you got to listen to your inner you, what's right for you, and go with it and stay away from all this negativity. And that's what's been driving me the whole time from that point on to today.
Wow. And I love that too. Everybody that's watching too, I know that we talk about the law of attraction a lot, where, you know, whatever you believe that you are, that's what you're going to receive. But Geir actually doesn't really subscribe to that philosophy, and he's still making it happen. Even though there's a lot of, you know, similarities that if you know that you'll get it, you know, that's what you're just going to attract into your life. And Geir, another thing that you said as well is not focusing on the negative, where for you, you had to travel all the way from Norway to come all the way here to the States. And let's talk a little bit about that journey. What was some of the biggest things that you've discovered about yourself during that process of moving all the way over here, probably not having that much money in your pocket? But what were some of the things you discovered?
Well, the first day I came to United States, I stayed in a rent-a-car in a parking lot, because I didn't have that much money, and I didn't know what to stay and what to do before I started the school. So I slept one night there. I had some people trying to rob my car and me and the whole thing. But what I learned from it is to be strong and uh, and don't feel, I wouldn't say feel sorry for yourself, but you should know that better things will happen if you are strong enough. What happened to you right now, because it won't last. This thing, this craziness, and the truth is things will be better, and that's what you have to believe in. I believed in myself from day one when I decided, to come from Europe and here and not knowing a single person, that things will change. Things will be great. And that's why I'm here. I'm not here just to be miserable and depressed. And I always, it's kept me going the whole time. And I was very lucky when I grew up in Norway. I grew up, with three brothers, and mom and dad. We had a fourplex. So we were three boys in one room. My mom and dad was sleeping on their sofa in the living room. We have to go down like two different floors to go to the basement to go to the bathroom. And so we really had no money when I grew up. But that made me stronger, and we had love. I was lucky that I have parents that loved me 120%, and took me out and showed me the wonderful things they can do outside. So I know what it takes to make things better than it really is, and then it become better. So I was lucky to learn that from a very early age, and I've been using that my whole time. When I went to the United States, and how I started, I went to school, I got friends there, and then when I started my own business, little by little, I borrowed money from a friend of mine. I maxed up my credit card, the one I had, and I stole my own garage, clothes in garage sale to make rent. I had nothing, and I built myself up little by little. But I knew the whole time that things will happen if I believe in it. There was bumps in the road, there was this and that, but the whole time I believed in myself, and it's starting to happen little by little by little. And that's the main thing, believing yourself 110%. And I can't say that enough. Be around positive, people and good things, and just know that things will change. You don't have to think that, oh my God, my life is miserable. I don't have this, and I lost this. But if you believe the other way, if you start to think about, what do I have? What can I be thankful for? And you're seeing all this wonderful thing, and then other things start to happen.
I love that. And that's such a loaded answer, and there's so many ways that we can go about it. But the best thing out of all of what you just said that I really love is you grew up in an environment where you didn't seem like it was the best, or you didn't have money, or you didn't have the things that you thought that was going to make you happy. But
Right.
when you grew up, you always knew that you had that belief on the inside, and you didn't really look to the outside world. Like you said, when you have that positive support system around you,
Right.
that is
Right.
such you can't put a price on that, because you are conditioning yourself to have that positivity to whatever's going to happen in your life, and to have that self-love, and to have that self-confidence, which today's and nowadays it's kind of hard to really see through that. And that's why we're here, doing it through your company, your philanthropy, and your volunteerism, and the same things with my television show and my volunteering. It's hard to do that. But can you talk about some of the strategies that you take, maybe even still to this day, the techniques that you do in order to have that self-confidence, and to, surround yourself with the right people?
I say to myself every day, I want to make a difference to whoever I talk to. If you go to the grocery store, you can talk to the person that ring up your grocery, and ask her how she's doing, and doing good. Like, I always have at least one, usually more than one person, but at least I have one or people that I meet that you try to be good to, because it's coming back to you, and you feel even better that we did something. Like, today I went to I all my shirts that I've been using, I went to the dry cleaner, and I started to talk to her, and she could also speak Spanish. So I talked to her a little bit in Spanish, and she loved that, we interact, and and she was so happy that I talked to her and stuff, and said, you made my day, you're so funny, blah, 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 So you make a difference for people. And what happened in the strategy, as you asked about, is actually coming back, and you think, oh my God, I can do this too now. And you start to think even more about things that you want to do, because you feel happy, you feel good about yourself and the day you have go through. So every day when I wake up, I have music on. I usually have, something and happy music when I wake up. I am thankful for that I can wake up, that I'm there. Every day, I say that before I even go up to bed, I say, I'm happy. Today's going to be a wonderful day. You know what I mean? Let's do it. And I talk to myself and I'm doing it. And then one thing that you know that instead of like, oh, my back, I can't believe it. Oh, the rain's outside, whatever it is. I turn it around all the time. And that's the way to focus on anything you do in life, whatever business you have or friendship with people, just doing that. Do something good to other people, and you will feel so rewarded afterwards.
100%. And there's a very big saying here on Weekly Dose of Dano TV that has been inspired by one of the guests that have come on before. And he always says service above self. When you understand that, maybe you're not the center of the universe and that you actually do stuff for other people, that's one of the keys to happiness. Understanding that service and helping other people out with whatever they're going through, or even just giving a compliment. That's one of the secret keys in order to live a happier life, because you understand that not everything that happens to you is as big as it's going to seem. Because when you look out to these other people and you're able to make them happy, then that's just a reflection of what's going on inside of yourself. And vice versa. If somebody's out there, think about the time that somebody gave you a compliment or made you happy. That's just a reflection of that other person, which means that they're working on themselves, they're happy, and they're making that intention to live a happy life. So Geir, we just got to play a quick commercial from our first sponsor. But for the second half of the segment, we're going to go, or the episode, I should say, we're going to talk about your professional career. And it just seems like the positivity and golden nuggets are just going to keep flowing, even into your professional career as well. But whatever you guys have questions about, comment now for Geir, as we're going to play our first episode, or our first commercial from our first sponsor. So everybody, don't go anywhere. Like, share, grab your notebooks and your pens, because Geir is giving us the keys on how to achieve a happy life. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Sex and is about keeping our families together.
God bless this organization.
That was a word from our first sponsor. It Takes a Village Housing here in the South Jersey area. Thank you so much for everything that you do with mothers, for women and children that have been affected by drugs and alcohol abuse. You guys are absolutely amazing. And I was actually at your diaper drive the other day, and it was absolutely one of the best events, if not the best event I've ever been a part of. So thank you for sponsoring Weekly Dose of Dano TV. We really appreciate it. Geir, now we're going to switch gears. You see what I did there? Into your professional career, to talk about some of the challenges or achievements that you have gone through to get to where you are today. So when it comes to designing your fragrance, right? I know one of your best sellers of all time is called Laila, and it's named after your mother. Can you talk about what goes into designing a fragrance? Like, I wouldn't know where to even start. So give us the blueprint of what it's like to start your own fragrance.
Well, the first thing you have to do is to find out what kind of scent you want. Do I want something that's floral? Do I want something more musky? Anything. So for me, it was pretty simple because, as I said earlier, I wanted a scent that reflected my childhood, Norway, the mountains, something clean, light, and what have you. So that's how I first started. Okay, this is what I want. This is kind of scent that I wanted. And now how do you get that scent? So I met a perfumer from France in one of those events. I was was doing before I started my fragrance. And I asked him, how do you create a fragrance? And he said to me, find ingredients that you like. It's very important. You find this what you love. So he's trying to help me to come up with oil-based and scents. And I wanted something very, very crisp and light. So mostly from herbs, from the mountains, light and fresh. And so we started to work with oil that we took from the herbs and the flowers. And he worked for the big perfume house. So I was lucky got to get into him because I met him outside this. And then we started to work together and he helping me. And every time we come up with a blend, I walked on the street and asked people what they thought about the scent without telling them that I was behind it. And that way you get honest truth, what people really think.
So did you just go up to them and just say, all right, smell this? And people actually smelled it?
Yeah. I was going like in malls and stuff. I said, hey, this can I stop you? There's a new scent coming out, and we just do some research here. What do you think about it? So they will smell it. So I would get this feedback, that feedback, and I will go back to the perfumer and say, you know what? I maybe talk to like 100 people, and this is what I got. The 20% said this, 30% this, and I said, I want more of this and more of less of that. So we did that. I worked on this for almost 4 years. And at the end, we put some lavender extract into it, fresh lavender. And when we did that, people goes, oh my God. I mean, I got almost 100%, which is very, very high, that said they like this scent. It was like, wow, what is that? And then it's like, okay, this is a scent I'm going to go with, but now I need a name. And that's how I come up with my mom's name and all that, because I wanted something that reflected my childhood. So that's why I named it after my mom. But that's how I went through it. I went through every single thing. I did every research myself, because before that also, I did promotion work for other fragrances too, so I kind of know what people wanted and what they didn't like. And most people wanted something that was, uplifting and light. And that's what I wanted with this fragrance, something that really reflected Norway.
Wow. And that's amazing too. Just the fact that you didn't cut any corners and you decided to go get the research and the opinions from the people by yourself. That
Right.
just shows the dedication and that you have for your product and the belief that you had in yourself. Mario says right here, great way to get feedback on a product or service. Kudos. Lou says that was a good impression when you were impersonating the Frenchman. That was pretty funny too. But when it's not just about fragrances that you have created now you've expanded into handbags, into skincare. Can you talk about like why is it that you're able to be adaptable into all of these other different markets, and why did you see yourself going into different places besides fragrances?
Well, they're all kind of connected in a way. So I started with the fragrance I named after my mom, and then I started the other men's fragrance that I couldn't come up with a better name, so I named it after myself, Geir, like shift and go. And after that, skincare goes kind of hand in hand. The fragrance, you want to feel good. And since I have done sports my whole life, I could actually ski before I could walk. My dad was a ski trainer. So
Wow.
I started skiing at a very young age, and I love, the outdoor, to feel good, and also when skincare, you wanted something that was easy to apply, that you feel good, your skin feeling good, you feel moisturized. So I come up with ingredients that also part of Norway, like they have the vitamins and the minerals from there. So it goes into your skin. It's more like when you put it on, you feel moist. And the thing with when we getting older, our skin gets drier, right? So you need to moisturize. And then it was all about, for me, was about Norway. So I come up with a skincare line, like a cleanser, a moisturizer, eye serum, the whole thing, but it's all tied into Norway. To an ingredient called cloudberry. It has more vitamin C than an orange. And that's also a good ingredients to put into. So I use a lot of vitamin C, which was important to me to put into the products. And then it was interesting because I had friends of mine that work in fashion, And I said, you know what? Instead of come up with these boxes, the gift sets, I want to do like a bag that can be fun to have on. And I did it just for fun in the beginning, and we sold out the right people. Oh my God, I love your bag. So now I've been doing different bags for different seasons. Every fall, every spring, I have a new bag coming out, and I put it with my fragrance and like a lotion, like a gift set. But it's a bag, and people collect those. One woman come up to me when I was doing a promotion, and she showed me a picture of 15 or 16 different bags that I've been doing, and she had it in her living room in like a cage that she had all the bags that, and she asked me to sign the bag for her and the whole thing. So they all tie into together. And then I also do a lot of volunteer work for the animal shelters. And
we're gonna get into that a little bit later. I don't want to spoil that. I want people to
Okay.
stick around to hear about the volunteerism, because even then, like, it's just not all about you. It's not all about gear. It's about giving back, and you understand that. But a lot of the things that you just mentioned about your company and to your brands is that you always refer back to Norway and from your culture and back to your hometown. Why is that so important for you to always bring that culture and your roots into your brand?
Well, for me, it's very important because I feel like it's so much part of me. You know, the outdoor, the sports I've been doing with my mom and with my dad, and also people. A lot of people doesn't know about Norway more than, oh, I heard it's beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, so I wanted people to take them like a journey. Actually, what you smell into Norway, so they can feel, okay, this is kind of what you feel like, you know, when you're in Norway. And I have gotten probably hundreds of people that wanted to go to other countries for vacation that changed their mind and want to go to Norway because the way I was talking to them about, you know, you feel like in Norway, you feel like you're in the postcard. It's so beautiful with this huge mountain and the fjords around it. And I want people to feel that way when they're using my products. It's more than just, oh, this is just another fragrance. I want something unique and different. I was doing promotion not long ago in Disney World, and people come up to me and say to me, Mr. Ness, I got to tell you that I named my daughter after your perfume because that's how I met my husband, and I felt like I was in Norway. You know what I mean? That kind of thing is what I wanted, and that's why it's important to me because from there, I grew up there, and it's so beautiful that I want everybody to experience. If you can't go there, at least you can smell it and you can feel like you're in Norway and you can feel good about yourself. And every time, you know, when somebody have been to Norway, they're saying the same thing. Oh my God, yeah, I feel free. I feel so happy. It was so beautiful. And that's exactly why Norway is so important to me.
Wow. And thank you so much for sharing that too, because I think you got me sold. I want to travel abroad next year too. And I think Norway has to be one of the places that I need to visit, apparently, because you're saying so many great things about it. And I got my passport, so I'm ready to go. I just got to pack my bags, and I'll meet you over there.
Absolutely. From there, I'll be a tour guide.
Yeah. All right. There it is. Everybody, you heard it here. He's my tour guide. Geir, I'm going to hold you to that too when I go over there to Norway. But thank you again for introducing that culture to the US, because I know a lot of people say that we're not really culture, but you know, you come over here and you're bringing your spice and who you are into your brand, and you're taking that everywhere you go, which is very important. And Geir, we're gonna talk a little bit about something serious, because it's not always rainbows and sunshines and butterflies, especially when it comes to business and doing it on the scale that you do, which is such a large, you know, worldwide scale. Can you tell us about one time or maybe an experience that you didn't think it was very favorable to you, or maybe it was very serious, and how did you take that experience and spin it into a positive?
So I can tell you one. I was in Chicago. I was doing an event with Nordstrom's, and which was one of my favorite things to do. You know, doing an event there, it was great. The next day, I was supposed to be in Detroit to do a trend show. And what they do, they have a lot of customers they invite for like a morning show on a Saturday morning. They can be up to 500, 600, 700 people. And they have different guest speakers. And after you finish, you take them down to the store. So I was invited to Nordstrom the next day, also in Detroit, you know. So from Chicago, I was going to just fly to Detroit and stay to my hotel, and next morning I'm going to be there being one of the guest speakers. So what happened was all of a sudden the weather's changed. It was in the winter time, so it started to snow. It was a big snowstorm. So they canceled my flight to Detroit, and I was thinking, oh my God, wow, what happened? So I was in my suit driving to the airport. They closed the airport down. Everything was closed. So I said, okay, now I just have to take this rental car I have and drive all the way to Detroit in the snowstorm. And it took much longer than normal too, because there was horrible snow, and there was trailers that was parked in the middle of the road and whatever. So
you didn't have your ski gear with you to just go ski over there?
No, I didn't. I should have, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
I got to Detroit I was supposed to be there the show started at 8 o'clock. I came down like 7:45. I pulled in to Nordstrom back, the parking lot. I run upstairs, still had the same suit on me that I had the day before, right? And I go and I heard, she was saying, and next one we have our guest from Norway, Geir Ness. And I just came in and said, hey everyone, how are you today? And pretend that nothing had happened. And I just did it. And I sold out, went to store and I sold out everything. So
wow.
It shows you can choose to feel sorry for yourself, go to a hotel and cancel it, or you can do that. And that was one of the things, that I always, and I learned that from my dad too, never feel sorry for yourself, just go. And that's what I did. And it was a great experience. You were tired the whole night because you drove for all these hours and it doesn't matter. But I knew that, I want to do this. And it went through it. I had many stories like that, but I never give up. And when you never give up, even those times that is tough for you, whatever that is, it will give results 100%.
100%. I love that too. And just the fact that you had that determination, I think a lot of people can take that going forward and not feel sorry for themselves. This is like we said, and I feel like it's a common theme with this episode is you can either feel sorry for yourself, go in the corner, cry about it and just give up, or you can take life by the balls, so to speak, and just do something about it, and
Right.
We all have the power to do that, no matter who we are, whether we're, in Norway, whether we're in France or Spain or all these places. We, as human beings, have a heart, have a mind, a body, and a spirit. And when we have all of those things in alignment with our dreams and our goals, nothing's going to be able to stop us. Not any snowstorms, not any broken down vehicles, nothing in this world. And I know it may sound a little bit out there, but just listen to Geir's story and think about a time in your life where you made the impossible possible just by believing in yourself. So Geir, we actually have to hear one more commercial sponsor or from our sponsor, and we'll be right back after this sponsor. So everybody, like I said, please like, share, do whatever you have to do to raise your vibrations, because this episode is absolutely fire. And thank you so much for being here live or on the replay to watch it. Weekly Dose of Dano here with Geir Ness, the absolute legend. And we'll be right back after our sponsor. That was just a quick word from the Elks Lodge. Thank you for sponsoring Weekly Dose of Dano TV. And I just wanted to show a question or comment here on, we actually have two questions for you, Geir. Can you answer these questions? Just to let you guys know, this is Geir's website. If you ever wanted to go and buy something, we're going to be talking about this in a second, the woof, woof, woof. But can you answer this question, Geir? What are the price points for your products?
Well, it's different ones. It depends which one, but the Laila fragrance I have two sizes there. The smallest, I have different package on the website too. I have a little sample package, and the smaller bottle is $69, $89 for the large. Now we have a special gift set with my handbags. There has a large fragrance and the cream for dry skin inside it. I think it's $119. I have all the skincare line. There's different prices. You can see it on my website at geirness.com, and they have all the prices on my website. Or you go to Nordstrom.com. They have my Laila fragrance there. Yeah, you will find everything on my website with all different prices. That's where I have my different fragrances, my new fragrance, Norwegian Snow, the Geir fragrance, the Laila fragrance, all of it is going to be on my website. So that's probably the best place to go if you want to get it. And we have our own warehouse, so you get shipped out from my warehouse. So it's very easy also access in United States. And of course, Norway.
Awesome. And then we have one more question here from Jeanette. It says, how can one get samples to try your fragrance and skincare?
We have a sample on my website, so you can go into the website and they have like a sample package, I think, there that you can go see. So just go into my website and everything will be there. Or you have to come and see me. I will be not next week, the week after. I'll be in Disney World at Epcot. So if anyone of you go to Disney, I will be in Disney World doing a big promotion there. And also my website, when I travel outside, sometimes we put it on the website. So if you are around where I'm going to be, please come and see me. And I will give you samples there too, if I'm there, so.
Awesome, 100%. So to everybody, there it is. And Mario, I think I can, hold on, Geir, I got this one. Are products okay for people with sensitive skin? Yes, because everything that he uses in the products are, based, inspired by Norway, but they're good for people with sensitive skin.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the reasons I created this, because it's made specifically for sensitive skin. If you have oily, dry, all skin type, it's specifically sensitive skin.
Awesome. And there it is. So thank you for taking the time to answer those questions, Geir. But now we're going to kind of shift gears. I know I keep saying that, but it's good. I think it's good. And talk about your philanthropic and how you give back. I know one of the products that you came out with, which I'm actually going to show the website again, but it's called Woof Woof Woof. And how did you come up with that product, and what is it based off of in your life?
So I have always loved animals since I was very little. I did horseback riding. I used to, all the neighbors' dogs, I will go and walk them. I have been like a dog walker when I was very little. And I always loved animals, all cats, dogs, you name it, and horses. So I started to do volunteer work for the animal shelters. And it given me so much, because I have trying to get people not just to get the animals, but also take care of them after you get them. For the animal shelters, there's a lot of animals that's been through so many horrible things, and you wanted them to have a wonderful home. So what I have done sometimes, instead of let people just come into the shelters, I would take the dog away from the shelters to the people so they can see them and get to know them better, and also follow up with what people do after they get the animal. So I've been doing a lot of volunteer work for the shelters, walking dogs, try to get them home, been in those stores that PetSmart, for example, on a Saturday, and having my animals in my hand, and people walking in and say, wow, and get people to wanted to have the animal and find out, who they are and what kind of people, because sometimes people just want an animal for the holiday season, right? And give to the child. They want I want a dog. And then what happened to the dog afterwards? All of a sudden it's not, they don't want it anymore. And so it's many stories like that. So you be sure that the people who get the animal really want the animal and want to keep it and take good care of the animal. So after doing that, I realized that a lot of things with the dogs that wasn't available. A lot of the dogs have problem with the skin, and there was very little on the market for it that I heard from the veterinarians and everybody. So one day I said, I want to do some research and see what I can do with myself. So I started to work on a dog shampoo, but I wanted all plant-based. And after it was finished, I wanted a Norwegian fun name. So I named it Woof 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 with a V instead of a W. And it was interesting. I don't know if you've seen the movie Lilo and Stitch.
It's been a while, but I've seen it.
Yeah, a friend of mine, he created the movie. So I called him up one day and said, Chris, can you do me a favor? I'm doing a dog shampoo, but I want a happy dog as a logo with my personality in it. So he said, well, send me some picture of you, Geir. So I did, like, and the logo you see on Woof 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 is actually me as a dog that he did for
Wow.
me. There you go.
I can see it. It's all in the smile, and you see the cheeks are a little bit red. Wow, that's awesome. So, and I really love the fact that you're taking it even a step further beyond helping people, but helping animals, because that's a part of your environment too, right? It's all of the people, but all of the living beings and just the inanimate objects from from your room, just taking care of everything that's a part of it. And thank you so much. Lou says right here. Very cool, 100%. I really love that too, because I would have never guessed that, but it just goes into the an appreciation for who you are and how much you really care for it, the details that go into it. And there was one thing that I just wanted to talk to you about, and there was you have something called Letters from a Son to His Mother, which is another thing that you just always pour your heart and soul into. Can you tell us what Letters from Son to a Mother is? And please tell us what one of your favorite excerpts from that book is.
So this is years ago. I wrote a little book, about how my mom have inspired me when I grew up. So this book is about letters that I kind of write to my mom to, different things she have done for me when I grew up. And one of the things that I really loved about my mom was that what we had talked about actually earlier is how she treated people. When I was walking with her when I was just 4, 5, 6 years old, and I remember it, there would be especially this lady that nobody wanted to talk to because she was kind of a scary lady in the neighborhood, and she was kind of a little off the way she walked, and then she couldn't really walk straight up, so she was always this, and a lot of kids was afraid of her. They called her the witch. Like whatever. But my mom always stopped and talked to her, and she always smiled after she talked to my mom. And my mom was always great to people. She always talked to everybody and made them feel good. And that's one of the things that the book is about too. Is, as we talked about, make somebody else feeling good. It's not all about you; it's about them. And if and you will feel better. So I always, as I told you earlier, I do it every day. I do. I say to myself, this day is going to be wonderful. And you talk to people, you make them feel good about themselves. And a lot of times there are people that nobody will talk to for days or weeks or months. They are lonely. We don't know that, So if you see somebody, just say something. If you see something wonderful or something, instead of like be silent and just pay your things and leave. You know what I mean? You can say something, and there can be people around you. Or when you drive a car, don't get so crazy. If somebody pull in front of you, just let them do it. Don't honking and be crazy. Just let it go. It's okay. There's so many ways you can change your life. And I've seen so many people that get so upset about nothing, instead of like, just let it go. Everything is fine. And but that's back to the book. But that's what my mom taught me. It's how to be good to other people and listen to other people. It's not just about you, but listen to what they're saying and hear it. And that's important too.
100%. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen that, especially on the road where, the light is about to turn yellow and somebody's like, go, just drive through it. And it's like, dude, what is that 1 minute difference? It's not going to make a big dent in your life. And it's not that serious. And I love the fact that you keep saying that too. Just live in the moment, stop focusing on everything that's going on the outside, and really start to focus on what's going on in the inside and making sure that we're clean from our mind to our body to our spirit, just to make sure, because we know once that's in alignment and that's clean, everything on the outside is just going to be a reflection of that. So Geir, I also, you might have to inform me or correct me if I'm wrong, but are you having a movie from all of the things that we've talked about? It sounds like your life is just basically one big movie. Is there any chance that there's going to be a movie made after you?
Yeah, I have been working with some producers that I know in Hollywood that love my story, and they want to do something out of it. So the script has been 3/4, I think almost, for a while, but because of the pandemics and everything, what happened was, so it's kind of like stopped everything. And now is the it's a strike going on in Hollywood that hopefully will be over soon. But so nothing happens right now because of the pandemics and all that. But there is I've been working on it for a while. A fun story, and it's going to be about kind of my life in a way that it will motivate people. It's going to be funny. It's going to be a comedy. It's going to be a great thing to watch. And so some of the stuff we talked about today will obviously be in it too. So I don't know if it will complete, but it's in the work. Yeah.
I don't know why, but I hopefully you take this as a compliment, but I'm getting like Mr. Bean vibes, like, going on these adventures, being funny and optimistic and things like that, and just kind of having like that childlike sense of adventure and that excitement. So he's a legend too. So take that with a compliment.
No, I think that, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. If you need a young Geir to be played in the movie that's 26 years old, you just let me know, and I'll do my best to do my best Geir impression. But I need to develop your accent a little bit more if I'm going to take on that role, right? We actually have one final question here for you. Hey, Geir, where do you see yourself further down the road with your life and your achievements?
So you know what? It's interesting that I really don't look, like in 5 years and 10 years. But what I'm looking at to do the best I can do now, what I see myself is probably working even more with and the animals. Maybe one day I have my own shelters that I will take care of. That's probably one thing that I will do down the road. Is do more of that, and obviously also my business now. I'm probably going to develop some more, maybe another fragrance. I did a new fragrance now called Norwegian Snow. I have worked with Disney with another fragrance we did a while ago with the movie Frozen. So I've been doing a lot of things, but I think moving forward, I will develop more things in my line and also do more with the animal shelters.
Wow, and that's absolutely amazing. So thank you for asking that question. We have you just blown up the chats for today. Mario asked, do you donate products to the less fortunate?
What's that?
He said, do you donate products to the less fortunate?
Yes, I've been working with abused children. I was actually Santa Claus one year that I walked in, and I had with me a little gift thing. So I was like the Norwegian Santa that we gave to a lot of those children that have been abused children, and I also have worked with handicapped children. I have worked with the Cancer Society. I do also other things now in Orlando, another place there that has children and also adults, both. So yeah, I do a little bit of everything. It's not just the animal shelters. I do a little bit of whatever I can do, but I haven't done a lot of different places and worked with different people, organizations around United States. But I definitely try to help whatever I can do. I try to help.
Yeah, and not trying. I want to say you're actually doing, because you're out there, you're in the streets, actually taking your elbow grease and helping these people. So you're not. I want to make that little distinction. It's not trying. You're actually doing it. So thank you for all of the great things that you are doing and the great things that you will continue to do in the future. I'm just so excited to have you here for today. Thank you so much for being a part of this on Weekly Dose of Dano TV and supporting my positivity posse. But Geir, we always wrap up the show with the same question. And here's the question for you. So if somebody is in their deepest, darkest moments right now in their life and they really can't find how to get out of whatever they're going through, what advice do you have to give for these people in order to get them out of that dark place?
So maybe you should look at and see what you have, which is, yourself, and what good things you have, because try to concentrate, to look it back and say, you know what, I'm thankful for. You must have some good things around you. It can be a friend, it can be a dog, it can be something, it can be something you have on, and try to see, this is just temporarily, it won't last. Because I know I've been through a lot. I haven't so many things I've been through also that hasn't been glamorous. We just talked about a tiny little thing of this, but I know that if you really believe that things will be better, it will be better. But you have to believe in it. You cannot just say in the word and think it will happen. You've got to believe in it and say, you know what, I'm going to make a difference. Let's be strong here and focus on the good things that is out there, because there is a lot of good things. Try not to watch all this bad news and go online and looking at the chat room that's negative. You know what? Stay away from all that. Just trying to think about what's out there. Look in the nature, look at the tree that's there, the flowers that you see in front of you, and stop and see it. Try to see what's in front of you instead of looking at the dark side, and be happy with that. And then when you do those things, good things going to happen little by little. It takes maybe a little time, but no, the truth is there is a lot of good things too in the world. And focus on what you see in front of you, and surround yourself with good, positive energy, and stay away from all the negativity. And I promise you that good things will happen to you.
I love that answer. And you know what? I'm going to vouch for that too. And seriously, guys, I know it may be a little bit addicting to look at all the, gossip that's going on in the world. And like Geir said, all of the negative news, but stop watching that stuff. It's just poison to your brain. But like Geir said, get off of your phones, go look at nature, or go do the things that you have fun doing, whether it's hanging out with a positive group of friends, doing fun stuff like going bowling, or just sharing a phone call with somebody. It doesn't have to be rocket science. It doesn't have to be the biggest, most greatest positive thing in the world. As Geir was saying, it can be the simplest thing, is to go outside in your backyard or go into some nature and smell a flower.
Right.
Be in the moment, have that awareness that, you're maybe not feeling that well. When you are aware of how you're feeling, you are able to change it. So if you're not feeling great, then you can change it to feel even better. And if you're feeling great, you can change it to make it feel even better and feel those positive vibrations that we all know and love. So Geir, thank you so much for being on here today. We have so much that we didn't even cover, just talking about why, Disney selected you to, promote or to create the fragrance for Frozen, and so many other stories that we have to cover. So I think we might need a part 2. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Perfect. Yeah. So thank you so much for being on here.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure to being on your show, and all the best to you and all the people that watching your show. Just stay focused and and look at the good things that you have, and you will do fabulous.
100%. So everybody, thank you for being here this Thursday on Weekly Dose of Dano TV, whether you're watching live or on the replay. I hope you guys have a great, safe weekend. Remember, if you need to reach out to Geir, you can go to his website. If you want to buy any of his products as well, go to his website and really, really invest into somebody that's investing into this world and is doing it for the right purposes, because we all can think of some people that are at the top levels that aren't doing what Geir is doing. So go support his brand and everything that he's doing, because he's absolutely amazing, as you heard throughout the entire episode. So everybody, be safe. Have a great weekend. Next week, we have one of the best copywriters on that's in the Miami area. So be on the lookout for that. And we're going to do our promos for this week to let you guys know about the great copywriter that's coming on for next week. But for everybody that's watching, like I said, please have a great, safe weekend. Geir, thank you so much for being here today. To my positivity posse, thank you guys for commenting. Geir, one more thing, just stay on for a few minutes because I want to talk to you about something really quick. And I'll see you guys next week for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.